Hey, question for you, friends. Are you like me and you have friends, people in your family who you love with all your heart, but with whom you really disagree when it comes to things like who should be president, whether or not racism is a serious issue in our country, LGBTQ+, immigration, and maybe some other things too? People have always had different ideas and opinions on things like these, but in recent years, I think those disagreements have become a lot just sharper and nastier, especially when you argue via social media where you don't even have to look at the person you're disagreeing with. And then with so many bloggers and podcasts and news outlets today, it's so much easier than ever to find ones who only reinforce your own opinions. Well, our elders have been reading an article lately that says, in essence, that it's becoming impossible to be a church where people who disagree on issues like these can both be a part of it. The difference is just too big, and the emotion that we have with our opinions is too strong to have real in Christ fellowship with people on the other side. Then you add to that, when it comes to church, you have a whole lot of other things you can disagree about. Classic hymns versus contemporary worship songs, baptize babies or dedicate them, you spend money on the building or give it to missionaries. And because it is so difficult to be a church with diverse views on issues like these, some advocate that what we need to do is just kind of pick a lane and stay in it and try to appeal as best we can to like-minded people. Well, that might be a really good marketing strategy for a political campaign or to be try to sell some product you want to sell. But for a church, it might even work to attract a big crowd of enthusiastic, like-minded people. But friends, a church that has both people who agree with you and who don't, I think is so much healthier in terms of reflecting a gospel that is so much bigger and more fundamental to life than whether you're a Trumper or an anti-Trumper, or whether you're into Bach or the Beatles. Think about it. Jesus' original 12 disciples included loudmouth Peter and quiet John, included Matthew, who's a tax collector and was in cahoots with the Romans, and Simon, who's a revolutionary zealot, wanted to kill the Romans. Or I think of how at the end of Galatians 3, the Apostle Paul says that followers of Jesus have something in common, that it transcends our racial ethnic differences, our socioeconomic differences, even our gender differences. Well, the past couple of days, I've had some conversations with people about some of the disagreements that we have among one another at East Main on politics and social issues and church stuff. And I tell you, I came away from those conversations really grateful to be part of a church where people can disagree on these things. Actually, it makes for a really good laboratory for life. I mean, if you're married, you're ever going to become married, or you want to have or be a friend to someone who's not you, the closer and the more honest and real you get with each other, the more you uncover some serious differences. And be honest about that. Don't sweep those differences under the rug, and if those views flow from an understanding of Jesus and the gospel, we'll try to connect those dots for yourself and also for the other person. But then be together with that person in worship or in a Bible study where together you can be looking to Jesus and his gospel that is way more fundamental than these things that divide you. As you do that, love and respect for each other can grow. And don't be surprised if, besides just driving you nuts because you think they're so wrong, don't be surprised if that other person doesn't also sometimes make you smile. Well, thanks for your time today, friends.